The National Basketball Association is one of the four major professional sports leagues in the United States and Canada. With an astonishing revenue of roughly $5 billion a year, this league is considered the highest level of basketball player worldwide. Founded in 1946, the league isn't the same as it was back then. In those early years, the NBA was predominantly full of white players. According to racial equality activist Richard Lapchick, in 2011 the NBA was composed of 78% of black players and 17% white. A surprising fact considering that there were very few black players in the NBA back then. So in this video, I would like to talk to you guys about what caused this massive growth of African Americans in the NBA. Also, I would like to talk to you guys about impactful black superstars in the NBA. To me, they aren't appreciated enough not only for what they did for the sport, but for the African American community as a whole, such as Bill Russell, who was the first black superstar ever. A five-time MVP who led his Celtics to 11 championships in his brief 13-year career. Or even Michael Jordan, who is considered the greatest basketball player ever. The 6'6" guard from the University of North Carolina excelled under the biggest stages, bringing home 6 championships to his Chicago Bulls in the 90s. But my main purpose in this video is to inform you guys about the struggles that the African American community faced to be where they are today in this league. In the 50s, it was tough to be a colored individual in America, rather less play in the NBA. Accepted into the locker room as teammates, the white teammates didn't want any part of the very few black players in the league off the court, which to me wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, you can be my teammate, but you don't have to necessarily be my best friend off the court. What really seemed to be the issue to me was when the fans started disrespecting the black players. The fans truly believed that the Boston Celtics, the first ever team to start 5 black players, had too many of them. Bill Russell didn't have a great relationship with the fans. With the mindset of that the world didn't give anything to him, so he would give nothing in return. He believed that the fans didn't respect him or didn't treat him right, so why should he do anything for them, like signing autographs for them? This ongoing feud with the fans eventually led to vandals breaking into his house, damaging his trophies, and covering his walls with racist graffiti. The African Americans dealt with being segregated often when doing activities with the team, such as a team dinner. During an exhibition game in Lexington, Kentucky, prior to the 1961-62 season, the African American players on the Celtics, Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, and Satch Sanders, were denied service at a Kentucky hotel coffee shop because of their color. All of them decided to not play in the exhibition and fly back home. With the civil rights movement granting more respect to the blacks in the 60s, a great number of black players started appearing into the league, which led to the game being played faster and above the rim. Many Hall of Fame African American superstars started appearing, such as Willis Reed, Dave Bing, Earl Monroe, and Walt Frazier. During the years, many players came into the NBA, revolutionizing the game, but none have done more for the sport than the great Michael Jordan. Jordan is considered the greatest basketball player ever. He was the first athlete who was fundamentally sound, who never relied purely on his athleticism. Third on the NBA all-time scoring list, the great shooting guard retired in 1993 after winning 3 consecutive NBA titles. Stating that he had lost his desire to play, he took a break from the game and started playing for the Birmingham Barons, a Double-A minor league affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Returning to the NBA in 1995, he then led his Chicago Bulls to another 3 consecutive titles in the late 90s. With much success on the court, it's almost impossible to talk about him without mentioning his famous shoe brand and athletic clothing design, Air Jordan. Till this day, the retired Michael Jordan still makes approximately $60 million annually. Michael Jordan revolutionized the NBA. The NBA used to be known as a big man's game. In other words, to win a championship, you had to be led by an all-star caliber forward or center. Michael dominated in the biggest stages and proved that that statement was wrong. Other teams started to draft quick, agile, and strong guards in hope that they can deliver the same as Michael. Personally, I feel that Michael Jordan isn't appreciated enough for what he did for the African American community. Many people believe that he didn't help the community. He didn't necessarily have to, because what he did, however, was inspire them. He proved that whoever you are, you can still make it. Michael wasn't always the greatest. In the 10th grade, standing 5'11", he was deemed too short to play at the next level, and he was cut from the varsity basketball team. Motivated, Jordan trained daily, and the summer prior to his junior year, he grew 4 inches. The next 2 years of his high school, he went on averaging 20 points and received scholarships from many Division I programs. Michael will forever be known as the greatest that has ever laced him up. Bill Russell was more than just a basketball player. According to him, he was not a basketball player. He was a man who played basketball. I just want to take some time to appreciate Bill Russell the man and not the player. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. This medal is awarded to individuals that have made a meritorious contribution to the security or national interest of the United States, world peace, cultural, or other significant public or private endeavors. Bill Russell was awarded this medal in 2011 for his accomplishments in the civil rights movement by Barack Obama. Bill Russell stood up for civil rights. He was in the front row when Dr. King recited his famous speech. He was the first African-American athlete who was outspoken in the 1960s about topics that others were afraid to address. Bill Russell took all the negativity by the fans and transformed it into success on and off the court. The great Bill Russell paved the way so that the future African-American players don't endure the disrespect he was given by the fans. Mr. Russell will forever be known as the man who made playing basketball fun for the African-American community, like it always should have been. The league has been here for quite some time now. The African-American community has evolved, and thanks to some players, the present is great, and the future is looking bright.